Welcome to the show, David.
Welcome.
No, I'm already here. I say welcome, you say thank you. That's how it works. It's a
Hey, welcome.
What a twist!
Hey, welcome to Late Night Take 3. We've got a fun show here for a day. We're talking about movie twists. I don't know if I've actually sent the link out, but never mind.
It's okay. We definitely have people waiting for us, obviously.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry, I can't get over the intro.
But
Over here at T3 where we steal someone else's intro.
Well, I've got a fun bunch of people here. With me, we've got Matt. Matt, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm really just off kilter by that. I had a joke I was going to do about twist, and then I go to speak, and oh shit, these British people start talking. I thought we defeated them in the war, so I don't know what they're doing on my screen.
Also, we've got Manning. Manning, how's it going?
We did not defeat them. In fact, they came back in the War of 1812 and burned down the White House. So, part two.
You do realize, yeah, they burned down the White House, but then we beat them again at the War of 1812. Then we saved their ass in World War I and II.
I'm sorry for all our
USA.
We're just speaking history.
USA. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the truth to our.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute! Do you just have these saved? How many do you have saved?
I've got a whole bunch of video clips.
It's good to be here. Thank you, Malcolm.
But with that being said, we've got a whole bunch of things to talk about. We've actually got a lot of news today for change.
Malcolm, I swear, every time you show a clip, I'm going to change to a different impression. So keep that in mind. You know, I got several, so bring it on.
I mean, I've got several clips too.
The fucking clips. Every time I pick them out, they pull me back.
But with that being said, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We've got go start off with the box office. The box office still exists. It hasn't been blown up because of COVID. Anyway, it's a very small box office today. But like the new release, Old came in at 16.5 million. Snake Eyes came in at 13.4. Black Widow is still chugging along. It took in 11.6 million. Space Jam had a bit of a drop off from last week and got 9.6 million. And F9 is still in the top 5 with 4.7 million.
Who the fuck is watching F9? Why is Boss Baby Family Business not in the top 5 still? What is this horse shit?
Because Vin Diesel tells people about family and then they go. You should know this. He tells people
about family. Boss Baby Family Business is actually about family. It's not some bullshit trigger word meme.
A great meme.
But anyway, Boss Baby 2 is also on Paramount Plus, which is probably why people's not going to cinemas to see it.
No, it's on Peacock. If it's on Paramount Plus, we'll be watching it every other day.
But anyway, Maddie, what are your thoughts on the box office?
So far, again, I have yet to see either of the new films, mainly because I was on vacation, and I didn't do any of that. But I have no comments on the movies themselves, but it kind of is telling the fact that Shyamalan can make whatever he wants for a low budget, and he still manages to recoup that. Obviously, it's not recouped just yet, but so far, it's on its way. And the fact that no matter the quality of the film, he's going to be able to make that budget back is kind of telling. And I think it's going to allow studios, whichever studio he partners with in the future, to be like, yes, we want you to make movies because you are a name brand. Despite how divisive your movies are, you are a name brand, and we want to give you the money to keep making these films. Have you all seen Old yet? Has anyone seen Old yet?
No.
I don't do horror.
Abe has. Abe, is Old worth the money that they put into it? The 18 million, I think. The budget.
I mean, it's interesting. The concept is interesting. There's some nice things about it. With the execution, it's like I know what you're doing, but it lacks, and you become repetitive, and because the concept is so simple that it becomes repetitive, and you're expecting the things to happen. Well, that happened for me. Like, I haven't heard from anybody else what they think. I only watched one review, and they liked it, so...
Is this Cylon? I'm sorry, I just have to say it.
Yeah, Abe, you sound like no one's tuned into your radio station properly.
Oh,
It's the robot. The thingy.
Abe, say you're looking for the Galactica.
I'm looking for the Galactica.
Oh shit! Oh man.
Anyway, while Abe is fixing that, yeah, no, I'm not too shocked right now by the box office, kind of what I expected. And Snake Eyes, I mean, who was really asking for that? As cool as I thought it was going to be, and much as I love Henry Golding. But F9, still don't know if it's going to reach $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, like F9 is definitely the interesting one here because, like that, I don't know if that is on a streaming service at this stage. So,
I have a friend who might know, but I don't know. You can ask him.
But yeah, we do have Jungle Cruise coming out this week, so that's going to change it up a lot. But Matt, what are your thoughts on the box office?
First thought, still pissed off that Boss Baby fan visit. Space Jam? You take your kids to see that crap?
Oh yeah.
Boss Baby family business. Okay. Old. Congratulations, Shyamalan, I guess. You put your name on this one, and unlike After Earth, but yeah, no. No interest in seeing it. Snake Eyes. I am I don't want to say I'm a big. I do like G.I. Joe, particularly the '87 movie, which I recently got on Blu-ray from Shout Factory. But I've heard so many mixed things about this, and also, Henry Golding.
Golding. You got it.
He looks pretty cool. I don't really know his movies, but I've also had an issue with, like, Snake Eyes since the comics has been the silent assassin. I'm pretty certain he talks at some point in this movie.
No,
Like,
the trailer showed it.
It's just, I'm like, and mostly it's just like I've heard so many mixed things about this. I know, like, Mike Kalinowski, friend of the show, he's like a really big fan of it, but then I also hear, and unlike the He-Man stuff, to where, like, it seems a lot of the negative reactions just a bunch of people who just don't like Kevin Smith's interpretation of He-Man, not the actual show. It makes me not want to go and see it. Space Jam, haven't seen it, have no interest in seeing it. And then F9, I don't have any thoughts on it, but I got a friend who has many a thought on it. Let me go get him.
Okay, so I'm here. It's me. It's Vin Diesel. So you guys are asking me why is F9 still in the top 5? You want to know why? Family. Look, everyone made a meme out of same family. And first off, I just want to say, Take 3 has been making that joke since Fate of the Furious came out. So fuck all of you. Second, look, family is just, it's the best. People love to experience family. They want to see me and John Cena. You know why? Because in the movie, we're family. So keep going to see F9. And while you're waiting, F1 to 8 are available on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, and in some countries, Betamax. I love you, family.
Ivan. By the way, yeah, guys, I've been making a fucking family joke since Fate of the Furious came out, and I haven't seen any royalties for that meme, okay?
I was going to say, you can make royalties on memes.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know where Abe's went off to, but my thought
Watch
for
Mamma
box
Mia.
office,
Here we go then.
probably, quite possibly. I mean, to be fair, he's probably got it on a loop while he's actually doing the show as well. So I
He's
mean,
done that before.
And he's just playing in the back. I
He's
respect
done
that.
it.
He has?
He has. Remember that? What was it?
Well, I mean, I think he had it paused one time when we were doing late night because he was watching it for something. But
I mean, I have 2.5 Men paused right now. I was watching that before I got on, so.
I've got Boy Meets World season 2, episode 14 paused.
Ooh, which episode is that?
I am not a cook.
Ah, yeah.
It's my first time. I'm finally getting around to watching Boy Meets
Oh,
World.
you've never seen it before? That's one of my favorites. I love that. I love that that's on Disney Plus because that is my like comfort, not my always comfort show, but I just like can watch Boy Meets World all the time. That's a great show.
I have
but
nothing
anyway, I honestly have no
Think you're better than us?
thoughts about the box office. I mean, this is like for the box office. This is one that I knew was going to happen because I've noticed they've got a trend at the moment where they've got one big movie coming out, then the next week after that, there's a whole bunch of little ones like Old and Snake Eyes. I would argue are probably smaller movies. I wouldn't say they're big-ish movies.
I'd argue. Snake Eyes was a
they're
big
probably
movie.
big, but I mean, not Black Widow big type movies.
Yes.
What I was getting at, and then
Its IP is not as big as Marvel. I'll give you that.
And then next week you've got Jungle Cruise, which is another
I'm really
big
excited
movie
for
that
it.
everyone's looking forward to.
I'm really,
But yeah,
Agreed.
I'm
like
gonna go and see that at some
but
point.
yeah, like last week I did a double feature of Black Widow and Space Jam 2 just because I had the money and I had nothing else to do that month.
Yeah, fair enough. I remember doing a double feature of Angel Has Fallen and Peanut Butter Falcon in 2019. It was a good day. And they were in the theaters right next to each other, so I didn't even need to pay to see Peanut Butter Falcon, and yet I did. I could have just movie hopped. Extremely
You did the
easily.
right thing. You did the right thing, sir.
And I mean, I really enjoyed Black Widow.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's a good movie.
It is solid.
And
I've heard.
Look, I know Space Jam 2 is getting a lot of hate. I mean, I had fun with the movie. Yes, it is a really badly written movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
really acted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
look, Michael Jordan wouldn't have let his kids get kidnapped. That's all I'm saying. I'm just
In his
saying,
own house.
Kidnap Michael Jordan's kids in the first one? Nah, Michael Jordan don't let that shit happen.
No, Michael Jordan just gets himself be kidnapped.
Excuse me.
Great
no,
scene.
he was recruited, not kidnapped. If he didn't want to play the basketball game, the Looney Tunes would have let him go.
Yeah, but they kind of sucked him down into a wormhole
Yes, they
type of
recruited
thing.
him into their world, but
They
then
did it quite
he was welcome to
forcefully.
leave. Bill
But if
Murray
they
is not in Space Jam 2.
He's
But
not.
if they let him go, then there'll be a really short movie.
Yes. That's a lot of movies.
But anyway, I mean, while it was here, I had fun with it. Like there was a few good moments. I laughed. Everyone was laughing at this one joke in this movie. I thought the joke was very predictable because I called that.
Ta-da.
Space Jam 2 was very predictable. I knew where they were going with that joke. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, then yeah. But anyway, Abe, did you have any thoughts about the box office?
Not at all. But am I still a robot?
No, you're
No.
not a Skylon anymore. Though I'm really
Okay.
glad I got you to talk about House. That's a great show.
But with that, we're going to move on. There's a handful of trailers that came out. Whether or not people have watched them, I know one of them I just don't have any interest in. I just didn't watch. But we've got trailers for Malignant, Jackass Forever, and Dune this week. But Manning, what are your thoughts on any of these trailers that you might have watched?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we also have The Last Duel, or is that?
Oh yeah, last show I forgot to put on, but I didn't actually watch that trailer myself. So.
Oh, well, first off, I'm a big Ridley Scott fan, even though he's a very hit-or-miss director. The Last Duel looks fantastic. And again, this is the first combination of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing since Good Will Hunting. Together, writing together. which is again a really weird IP for them to kind of work together. Abe, what are you doing? Are you smoldering into the camera?
I want to see if you can.
No, I can see that's not you. But anyway, no, the last duel looks it looks fantastic, but at the same time it looks odd. And I think it's because Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, I still see them there. They don't fit in this world of knights. I don't know what it is. I need to once I see this, I'll know. But again, Ridley Scott is almost at his best when he feels like when he does these epics in a way, these medieval films. Kingdom of Heaven extended cut, Gladiator, obviously. I can't wait to see what that is.
Movie.
Well, medieval. Swords and sandals. There we go. Swords and sandals.
Those are two different things, man.
Yes, I realize now.
And the Gladiator Age.
You're right. I meant to say sword and sandals. I apologize. Swords and sandals. Very different. Medieval is. But yeah, Excess Gods and Kings. We don't talk about that. That was basically him going. That movie was doomed from the start. The moment that they hired, an entire. They had Christian Bale as Moses, and Joel Edgerton as Ramesses. I'm sorry, that was doomed from the start. When you got that.
They had Val Kilmer and Ray Fiennes as Moses and Ramesses in the 90s.
Yes, but those are voice performances. We'll get into that discussion later. That is a great one.
Voices.
Yeah, but those are
Michael K appears.
Michael K. This is true. Great discussion along those lines. Prince of Egypt, classic. Dune.
Talking about Michael Bay, he's just it hasn't.
Okay. Yeah. Dune is everything I wanted it to be. I have no idea what the IP is. All I know are sandworms and spice. That's it. And I am so excited that trailer. I think the first trailer we've gotten in almost a year. Dune is what I want in a sci-fi film, and the fact that it's by Denis Villeneuve, who I think is one of the best directors working today, if not the best, most consistent. Sorry, Ridley Scott. I have not disliked a single film that he has done, and this is one that I think I'm going to love. I'm not going to talk about its box office prospects because that has been destroyed. That has been talked to in the ground. I'm just looking forward to what Dune has in store because, oh man, Hans Zimmer's score got me so pumped. Yeah, those are two I wanted to talk about. And Malignant looks great. James Wan, can't go wrong with James Wan doing horror. Classic.
Matt, what are your thoughts on the trailers that dropped?
Jesus. What's the Ben Affleck name called?
The
Last Duel.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that movie because I love Ben Affleck. Maybe he doesn't fit, but I mean,
it's just his face. He probably could.
You never know.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a trailer. You never know. So who knows? And maybe they do stick out, and the movie doesn't work. I mean, look. I don't know. I just really like Matt Damon as an actor, and I trust him and Matt Damon writing because Good Will Hunting is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's really won Best Picture. But we're not here to talk about that. Jackass. I love the Jackass movies. I love that show. Those movies were something that, particularly Jackass 2, that me and my brother would always watch whenever it was on Netflix, and then my mom would come home and just immediately go upstairs, and then me, my brother, and my dad would all watch it together and just die of laughter. Particularly, I think our favorite has always been when they dress their friend up as the terrorist and put him in the taxi, but then it's a double prank because the taxi driver pulls the gun on him, puts him in the trunk, and just drives around in circles. And then there's a prank on top of that because his terrorist beard was made out of all their peeves. Because that is Jackass. It is fantastic. This family. You want to talk about family? Fuck the Fast and Furious movies. These guys, for like the past decade, have done insane things to each other. They have branded Steve with a penis. They have hit each other in the balls with I can't even know what. They have been shot by riot control guns together. They have been through more things than I think any of us here on T3 will ever be through as friends, and I can't wait for this last movie. It looks so freaking funny. I think I'm gonna try to take my lover to go and see it when it comes out. Yeah, I love Jackass. It's great, and I can just tell, since this is definitely going to be the last one, it's going to be great to see a father of, I think, 2 kids, Johnny Knoxville, just attempt to kill himself again. The bear, I need to know how that works out. And then Dune is similar to Manning. I have no clue about the IP. I know about the 80s movie. It's a pretty, as far as I know, it's a pretty well-liked movie. I know there's a book. It's based on... It's a very well-liked book. The movie looks good. I mean, I can kind of gather a plot from the trailer, but I mean, that's also a good thing about the trailer, is that it kind of does leave it open. I like the cast. To tell you, the trailer was better than those posters they dropped, because
well, they were
just having a poster with an actor with the character's name means absolutely nothing to me if I don't know the characters. But it's fine. I get that's supposed to be exciting if you know about Dune, and then the trailers for people like me who don't know anything about it. And yeah, Denis Villeneuve. I've only seen Blade Runner 2049 from him, but that is one of my favorite sci-fi movies. I like it better than the original. So I am upset that it didn't do as well at the box office as it probably should have. And I agree, man. I mean, it's talked to death already. This movie. I mean, I don't know how well the original did at the box office, but I mean, also, there are also a lot more stars in this one than there were. I mean, when you look at Blade Runner 2049, I mean, it had, obviously it had Harrison Ford, and then it had Ryan Gosling in 2017, I would consider a star. And then that was kind of it as far as the marketing went off of. They didn't really market Robin Wright or Dave Bautista or any of these other people in there. It was really just, they marketed the movie, and unfortunately, Blade Runner, both movies, we're freaking movies. So unless you really love Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, I'm not sure that was gonna. Also, it was which I assume Dune is gonna have a similar runtime. That's also, when you have a really long movie, that's always gonna affect your box office, because and again, I don't know if Dune is just going to theaters or if it's gonna have a streaming sort of HBO Max or Paramount Plus or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think Legendary have been fighting it, but I think they've kind of settled on a streaming as HBO Max at the same time. I think they have.
I think that's going to affect. I think that's going to affect as well, because it's probably going to be a long movie, probably near 3 hours. Because I know the book is really big, and I know the original movie was really long. I know I have a friend who the first time he saw it in the 80s, he saw it in a 2-night event where they split the original movie into 2 films. So it's probably not going to do that great at the box office, just because even aside from COVID, people don't except for Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, they really don't like going to the theaters to see. Nowadays, obviously back when Braveheart came out, people would still go and see it.
To add on to what you were saying along the lines of it being super long, they had to take the original in parts. So that's what they are doing in this one. They took the original book and they are actually splitting it into 2. However, the second one's contingent upon how much money this one makes. So I'm going to be really disappointed if this one bombs to the point to where that HBO Max isn't even... I see what you're doing. Stop saying that into existence. It's not going to bomb. If the HBO Max numbers are equivalently good, that can be able to recoup in some way, and they feel like this is well enough for them to be able to make at least a second one to finish off the first book, because I know that Denis Villeneuve wanted to have more, but as long as I can get those first 2 out, I think, to me, I'm golden.
look, I'm one of the like 3 people who likes Independence Day Resurgence, so I know how much it sucks to have a movie you like not make a lot of money at the box office and just never going to be able to have that story completed. We will never know what the hell happens with that story, unfortunately.
Well,
Never.
I'm talking on that is I think with the original Dune from the 80s,
Yeah.
I think they did the same thing. I think they split their book into half, but the original Dune only made about $30 million at the box office.
It's a real cult movie.
And so, and I think because of that, that's why we didn't get the sequel to that one. So
technically speaking, the entire book of Dune has never been told in full on film.
not
really?
not that I know of.
Well,
I don't know.
If what Malcolm is saying is true about the original Dune film, then that would be.
I mean, I haven't seen the original Dune. I've not read the book, so I don't know how much.
Yeah,
of that book was
I don't even
in
know
that
if there's
movie.
like more than one book. Like, I really don't know anything about Dune apart from the name.
But,
And there's that actor who's in the original. That's in like something else that I know.
But
Twin Peaks.
on-
That's it. Twin
Yeah,
Peaks.
but on that note, on what you were saying about the on Blade Runner's box office, Blade Runner 2049 actually did better in the box office than the original Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner did about $41 million, and then Blade Runner
Well,
2049.
the original Blade Runner is one of the most famous like cult movies because, and it was also kind of bastardized by the studio, but that's a whole other story.
But
Good
yeah,
movie,
I mean,
though.
it's, yeah. But for me, I really enjoyed the trailer for Malignant.
Jeff
and
Nichols in the chat says the 80s movie is the whole first book.
Oh, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, I was talking about, my friend was talking more about, like, because the movie is so long when it aired on TV that he saw it. Like, they did it with Superman the movie as well. Like, they did that in a 2-night event when it aired on ABC. They did that because, honestly, they did because of money. Because if you took a movie, added a bunch of deleted footage into it for the TV broadcast, you could split into 2 nights and make more advertising money, so... Which I still have not rented the 3-hour cut of Superman the movie yet. I haven't done it yet, the ABC movie one.
But yeah, I mean, I'll believe when I see that this new Jackass movie that's coming out is the quote-unquote last one. I mean, maybe the last one for maybe Johnny Knoxville, but I think if they want to keep doing, they will.
Well,
I always get set for people.
I think it might be for this whole crew, for the original crew, because if Johnny doesn't do another one, it's not the same crew from the TV show.
Yeah, I mean,
They're all getting up there in age. Like, they might die if they try and do more of these.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those. I always get skeptical when people say, "Oh, this is going to be the last one in the franchise," because I mean, Saw 7 was supposed to be the final chapter. Then they made Jigsaw, and then they made Spider.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and then we got like 8 more of those. No, I agree with you, Malcolm, but also stop trying to take away my joy and sadness of seeing the Jackass crew maybe never doing another film. Just let me have this. You know why? You know what the Jackass crew are? They're a family.
I think there's a lot of family stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean,
there's family businesses, family with the cars, you know, all the family.
I mean, I've never been a fan of Jackass. To me, it's just like idiots doing stunts, and that's basically it.
You and my mother agree.
And Dune, I think looks fine. I mean, according to some people online, I'm not allowed to have a different opinion. I've got to be really hyped up for this because I've been being yelled at on someone's Facebook thing, and then I think it looks fine, and then he just goes wrong. It's like, well, I can't be wrong about my opinion, but anyway, I think it looks fine. Yeah,
stupid.
I think it looks fine. It's one of those ones, and
also it's a trailer. That doesn't mean the movie's good.
And I actually didn't watch the last one because I forgot about it. I saved that article there's like, oh yeah, I'll remember to add it to the
By the
notes.
way,
I didn't.
you want to talk about movie trailers? We need to talk about movies. Which, by the way, this episode of Late Night is brought to you by the Die Hard with a Vengeance Blu-ray. Pick it up at all your local stores. That's right. Our sponsor for today is the Die Hard with a Vengeance Blu-ray.
Wait.
I'm bringing that back to the stomach.
No, I was told our sponsor was the Back to the Future trilogy on Blu-ray.
Wait, I'm sorry. No, you're thinking of the wrong Robert Zemeckis film that sponsors us, which is Romancing the Stone, available on DVD and Blu-ray.
No, you're thinking of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
No, I'm sorry. You're thinking of Quantum Leap, the complete box set. Dr. Sam Beckett travels.
I'm a nerd. Okay? Leave me be.
You're welcome.
But anyway, Abe, what are your thoughts on the trailers?
And can I just also say, Abe, where'd you go? Who is this?
It's
my hand.
Ruby.
Oh,
And we have the exact same voice. Okay, so this is the thing. About the Dune trailer. Okay, I cannot do this.
okay.
I'm in the same part as Malcolm in the Dune trailer. Like, I think it looks fine. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, I love his work, and I think he's gonna be he's a great director, no question about it. However, I think I saw this tweet because they had this 10 minutes IMAX screening. There are people calling it a masterpiece. Dude, you watch 10 minutes of a film. How can you call a movie a masterpiece when you have watched 10 minutes? Do you know you have at least another 110 minutes? If it's a 2-hour movie to watch.
Because it's the internet, and you have to immediately love everything you watch.
Yeah, like, I like the trailers, but I mean, it's gonna sound crazy, but I mean, it's empty. They look empty. And I guess it's something like, it looks empty because it's in a desert, right? You can have beauty deserts, I understand that, but it does not look visually interesting.
Hey, Abe,
Really?
I just want to introduce you to a little film called Lawrence of Arabia. Just
Okay.
might want to check it out. Also, The Road Warrior. May want to check these films out.
No, those. Yeah, but I watched the movie, and I have watched the entire movie. That's the difference. I'm just talking about the trailer itself. The movie may have all the colors and all the space thing that can happen, but it looks kind of like, and I think it's because I'm accustomed for Denis Villeneuve, Roger Deakins combo. Like, Roger Deakins can make like a white box look good in camera, and he's gonna do a great job. Also, the Malignant one, James Wan, is probably one of my favorite directors working today, and I like my horror, and probably gonna be there opening night. And what was the last two? Did you guys watch the pictures of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on set, like before the trailer was released?
Yes.
They always look off, and the trailer felt the same. I say, well, probably in the movie they will look differently, but no, they look the same in trailers. It's crazy.
The costumes and the makeup look better when they're actually, with the actual post done, but their faces.
They don't have a face of a medieval people, or that face we have been taught to believe.
What, you
They're very
don't think
modern.
there was Southie in medieval times? What the fuck you talking about, okay?
Really don't
I'm
think
going
so.
to park the car in Harvard Yard. Because my boy's wicked smart.
And that's
I apologize to our Bostonians watching. Sorry,
now do a
Jen.
Mexican accent.
Hey,
What?
Ryan's here.
I don't want to get canceled, Dave. I can do that off camera. I just can't have it anywhere on the internet.
I'm allowing you to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's no pass. There's no pass. I'm sorry.
Manny,
No
you have
Mexican
no
pass.
problem doing it. Do it.
But yeah,
Malcolm, go ahead.
But yeah, well, the main topic for today we're talking about is movie twists. We'll
What
get to
they
that a
twist?
little bit. We've still got the rest of
What
the
they
movie news to
twist?
talk out.
What's a twist?
I do not have
Okay,
that clip.
Don't worry,
Anyway,
Really?
Oh, wow.
but anyway,
Yes.
The best sketch.
so we've got a whole bunch of news. So I'm going to just go slowly through them. So apparently the top choice for Marvel's to direct Blade is Basim Tariq, who's only narrative movie to date hasn't been released yet. It's Morgul something like but he's mostly known for documentaries, movies. So, Manny, what are your thoughts about Bassem Tariq to direct Blade, or potentially?
I have literally no thoughts. Carry on, because I just don't know enough about. I like the fact they're getting someone who's a documentary filmmaker. It's different. It's interesting. It kind of is in the Marvel formula of them trying to pick out upcoming talent. But you know, I wish I could get more excited. But it's more like, okay.
But yeah, the movie that's due to be released this year is that he's done. That's his only narrative one to date is Mogul Mowgli. But yeah,
the Jungle Book where
it's I don't think it's anything. But any thoughts on Bassem Tariq to direct Blade potentially?
I have thoughts.
After Ape, I mean, I assume this means that Blade is going to be shot documentary style. Probably. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of talking heads, and your place going to be like, and then I really did wonder, did that motherfucker try to skate uphill?
I mean, if they wanted to do Blade as a mockumentary, well, they should have just got Taika Waititi. I mean, he's known for mockumentary movies.
What we do in the shadows, Blade edition.
I assume, which, by the way, documentaries can have a narrative to them. They're just not scripted out. I took an entire class on documentaries in college, so they have narratives to them. They're just not. Well, let's be honest, some of them are scripted out. Believe me, I could tell you some of the documentaries I watched that were 100% scripted. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, Kevin Feige, at this point, trust in Feige. Either seem like a rough cut, or maybe even a near final cut, or maybe even the final cut of this movie that's coming out, or maybe he just saw the documentaries and saw a style and really liked what he was seeing, and I think we're gonna see this next sort of phases of Marvel being a little bit more experimental, because at this point the brand is so established that you can risk doing stuff like this, because you know you're kind of playing in safe waters for right now. Obviously, you shouldn't take hundreds and hundreds of risks, but like, I mean, Blade is a fairly popular character, but I don't think if the Blade movie isn't like the greatest movie of all time, a lot of people are going to be that upset. So
yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a huge Marvel person.
I mean, we'll add that this isn't really confirmed that he is directing it. He's the news just came out. He's apparently.
So then why are we talking about this?
Well, I mean, I just put it there because it was put out by reputable sources that he is the top choice.
Artificially extend the life of the show. That's what you're doing.
Anyway, Abe, you said you had thoughts.
He's gonna play a clip.
Look, Matthew, we just talked about an hour ago, 2.5 hours about Mamma Mia, and you couldn't shut up about how great Meryl Streep is in the first one. Like, you love Mamma Mia. He's just spoiling it.
You know, keep saying all this shit, and then on this weekend, it's gonna be proved to the contrary, right?
No.
But anyway,
I just want to say, like, no, I do.
Sam is the real father.
Like, no, Bill is. Okay, we talk about penises in the movie.
He Matt mentioned that.
Him in.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Why when I have something intelligent to say, you always have to.
What? What do you mean I? You're the one who started talking about Mamma Mia. I'm really getting damn tired of this fucking clips now.
I love them. Keep them going, Malcolm.
Okay. I have something to say. I think it just shows a pattern what Kevin Feige is doing with the directors. Like, I mean, with all respect to Chloe Zhao, like, we didn't never. Well, I didn't. Like personally, I didn't knew about her until Nomadland, and he hired her before Nomadland to direct Eternals. Oh, Matt left.
I mean, he's still there. He's just turned his camera
Okay,
off.
to direct Eternals. Also, Kevin Feige has mentioned in interviews with Taika Waititi that even before Hunt for the Wilder People or What We Do in the Shadows, what caught Taika Waititi's time for him was the movie called The Boy, which I have not watched, which I want to watch. So it's something he does. He does to small filmmakers, and I think it's great. He does that because it brings new voices, and those guys get stuck. You know, it's a weird argument because I remember one of those directors. I don't know if it was Spielberg or Ridley Scott. Is that directors usually are given $5 million, well, probably $1 million for their first movie, and now they're giving 150 million for the next one, which is crazy. And it's like you have to make that big leap. And it's something like the directors of all that you used to get. Oh, a $5 movie, a $5 million movie, a $50 million movie, a 40. Oh, here's 150. Do whatever you want. But I think it shows better what Kevin Feige is trying to do with the Marvel, well, with the directors in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, trust in Feige. I mean, he's
Agreed.
like it's just one of those ones like. He's been making a lot of interesting choices, and I mean he's really good at getting these indie directors on board and having them go below things at the water. Like you got Taika Waititi, as Abe said, like he really wasn't known too much when he was and I mean, like, even though it was a Sony hire, John Watts is another example because he only made 2 movies before he was hired on to do Spider-Man: Homecoming. So, and he's going to be.
I mean, how many?
He what was that?
No,
Matt?
I mean, Jon Favreau wasn't really known for like action movies when he got hired to do Iron Man.
He did Elf.
I mean, he did like Swingers and Elf. You know, like he wasn't really like a dude who did those types of movies, and I mean that worked out really well.
But anyway, just to kind of segue, but to say in the MCU, other news that have come out. Vincent Duke has confirmed that M'Baku is coming back in Black Panther 2, and I have this as 2 separate ones, but I'm just going to bring this up now too. Michaela Corral is also joining the cast of Black Panther 2 from the TV show I May Destroy You, which has gotten a lot of Emmy love.
Well, that's awesome.
And so she's joining Black Panther 2. There's a lot of speculation around her casting because they haven't announced who she's playing, but there's a lot of speculation that she could be MCU's version of Storm. And which her coming in Black Panther 2 actually makes a little bit of sense because in the comics there was a connection with Storm and Black Panther. So
true, but if I may add real fast, the fact that they were actually married and she was the Queen of Wakanda, but they can't be married in this. They can't even be an item. And I feel like they would have. Personally, I feel like the wisest decision is to have them mutants. You know, explain that a little more. I don't know what's going to happen with Multiverse of Madness. I don't know what's going to happen with Spider-Man No Way Home, all that jazz.
I can tell you what happens.
Oh, you can? Well, perfect, Abe. What's going to happen?
Every Spider-Man shows up.
Well, yeah, but, like, what's going to happen with, like, the X-Men, the Possible Fantastic Four, and, like, what's going to happen with all those people?
I just want to know. Give
Me too. So I think they should wait.
Richard.
But that's a theory, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those ones like I would start on this like Winston coming back makes sense because I mean, why would he not come back?
Agreed. He's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
And I mean, it's one of those ones like if Michaela Corral is going to turn out to be Storm, I wouldn't hate that because it's one of those ones like. I think they can still have them potentially married, but they could reference that whatever they're going to do about sort of talking about where T'Challa is or how they're going to address that in the actual movie. I don't know. They could just say he's off out of Wakanda for some reason or just doing something.
What happened to like Lupita Nyong'o's character from Black Panther? Because they were a thing, and then she.
Nakia.
I haven't heard anything from her. Like she wasn't in Endgame or Infinity War.
She's coming back.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Is?
honest,
Okay.
I mean,
in
they haven't
Endgame,
confirmed, but like,
Black Panther wasn't
very
really in it
respectable.
either that much. So
True.
I mean, at this point, I don't. I think it's assumed that. I think you can assume that everyone is going to come. Everyone that was in the first Black Panther will be coming back.
in some shape or form.
Yeah, I mean, well, with the exception of Black Panther himself, I saw that.
Yeah.
look,
Okay,
man.
Malcolm.
Yep, I was
an
making
elephant in the
sure.
room. Don't need to. Don't
Can
need to.
I ask you guys a question?
But anyway,
Please.
Abe,
Question.
what are your thoughts
What do you
about
He has a question.
Oh, sorry.
Let him ask a question.
Oh no,
what's your question?
like the casting is great. I don't know the actress, but the casting is great. Oh no, but what do you guys? I don't know if it has been talked about it. Like, what do you guys think about Namor being in the movie? Like, pretty much confirmed, and then
Wait.
Huerta is playing it.
Has it been confirmed?
That's
I
pretty much
don't.
confirmed.
I don't think it's been confirmed. I think it's still sort of speculation about that casting. Because I haven't seen that casting announcement on Deadline or anything like that. So
Yeah, but-
I mean, this was like, if it is,
You mean
Fine.
this guy?
Yeah,
I mean,
this
The
guy.
I mean,
Submariner.
I mean, it's not like they can do a solo movie starring Namor because of the rights being still held by Universal. So,
I love this. Correct.
but Matt, what are your thoughts about Vincent Duke? coming back
Fantastic
for the-
Four. It's great. I'm sorry. What were you saying? I don't know that actress, unfortunately. So I don't really know. As for the actor coming back, I mean, pretty much assume every actor is coming back to some shape or form, except for one obvious one that we really didn't need to point out wasn't going to be back, Malcolm.
But anyway,
Don't got a clip for that one, huh?
I'm reading this stuff now. Carry on.
Look, what Empire Online.
I mean, Matt asked for a clip, so I played one.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway,
Oh, no.
but anyway, so I mean, I didn't put this in the notes, but there was a photo that came out of Hugh Jackman standing beside Kevin Feige, so and everyone's gone crazy about that. I mean, I think it's possible we could see a final appearance of Wolverine due to multiverse stuff, but I don't think it's going to be a full time
No, yeah.
returning.
Do we want to
Agreed.
see another? Like,
No, I mean,
Logan
look,
was a perfect end for Hugh.
It was.
Do we need to see him in a
Well-
cameo or some other shit?
I mean, yes, it was a perfect ending. I think it depends on. I mean, like depends on whereabouts in the timeline he gets plucked from too. If he gets plucked from slightly before his death, he can come back as a cameo. And then,
It's like Hugh left that character after 17 years, and you could not end in a more perfect place. Because if he does, I don't care if he gets plucked from right after the events of the first movie. Like, regardless, that will then be his last appearance. And it's just like, there's a beautiful thing with the way Logan ends. I mean, look, would I be really upset? No, but it's also just like, it also, I mean, I know this multiverse thing, believe me, I have my own thoughts on this whole, like, stuff and all that, I understand, but, like, ultimately, it's just like, how about we just let Wolverine sit, and we wait a couple years, and then when the X-Men get brought in, maybe we recast with a new actor who can give his, or her, if we want to go with X-23 as the new Wolverine, their own spin on the character. But let's let Hugh be.
Rest. Let him rest.
well, I mean, what I will say is, if he wants to come back, I'm not going to hate if he comes back. But, yeah.
Again, like, yeah, I'll be really happy because I freaking love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but it's also just like, it's not really necessary, is it?
I mean, is it necessary to bring back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield? No, but they could potentially do that as well. So,
But they also
got a
didn't
point.
get wonderful endings to their characters.
That is also a point.
So,
I don't know. I thought Spider-Man 3 was a perfect ending. He went out dancing. I mean,
it ended on such a bittersweet note. Andrew Garfield got screwed by Sony. So
Yeah, agreed.
I did this.
but anyway, the last Marvel news I actually got here is it's another casting one. Josh Sagaba from Arrow has joined the cast of She-Hulk. I don't know much about this role, but it's a good casting. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
I'm excited for She-Hulk. I never really got into Arrow though, but I'm excited to see what She-Hulk what happens.
But this is She-Hulk. Is it
What
like
is-
Professor Hulk's sister?
No, it's his cousin.
Oh, in Soviet Russia, cousins do sexy.
No. No, you are wrong, Russia. Please go away.
President
right.
Putin told me so, and he don't lie to me.
So it's
I do
okay
not
for
know
you to do
him.
a Russian accent, but you cannot do a Mexican accent when our Mexican is president.
No, I won't get
So
canceled
it's
for
fine.
doing a Russian accent.
No,
Man,
that's a great question. No, that's a great question because what constitutes well, he's talking right now, but what constitutes cancel culture? Me doing a Russian accent is because I'm doing a Eurocentric accent and I'm basically pasty white. That's a great question. I'm not going to have that
Russians
question
are
now
also
today.
white.
That's what I mean because as Euro, around that era in Europe, is that
Look,
something that
I'm
is
not
less?
in charge of being canceled. All I know is things live on the internet forever.
You're
okay?
right. I've
That's
done
what I'm
accents
saying.
before. If I do a British accent, is that okay? This is not the time or place for that.
Marin can do a Speedy Gonzalez impression.
I didn't.
That's a very rude thing to say, Kevin.
What clip was that? I see Jenna Fisher. You put her on the screen just when I leave. God damn you.
But anyway,
That was a good one.
moving
I
on.
never did an impression. Okay, sorry. I just said never mind.
Cancel Manning.
Dude, you
Please,
say,
no.
yeppa, yeppa, yeppa!
I never said that. Don't you dare do that. Okay, I have a job.
Would I get canceled if I did a Speedy Gonzalez impression? Because that's just an animated mouse.
I don't even know what clip this
That's
is.
what she said.
How did you not know? Arriba, arriba! There you go. You don't? I did Speedy Gonzalez.
Arriba,
But
arriba,
anyway,
arriba!
but anyway, moving on.
I'm gonna lose my job tomorrow now.
I don't have a joke.
Talking about the Arrowverse.
Yes.
John Diggle was in the most recent episode of Superman and Lois. Thanks. Let's talk about that because that was pretty cool.
No.
Okay.
But anyway, I mean, if you enjoy, partly because I have not seen the episode yet, so spoilers. Now I know that John Diggle's in it.
That's your own fault. Listen, you had more than a week to watch.
But anyway, Victoria Cartagena from the Gotham TV show is joining the cast of Batwoman season 3 and playing the exact same character, which is very interesting and strange. As Renee Montoya's. I don't know if anyone watches Batwoman, but anyone with thoughts on that?
Nor did I watch Gotham.
I watched the first 2 seasons of Gotham. I don't remember Renee Montoya being in the first 2 seasons. So,
But we're still staying on DC though. They've announced the cast of
let's
the
talk about
DC
politics,
Injustice
guys.
Gods and King.
Oh,
Oh.
Malcolm, you froze.
So the Injustice Gods and Kings animated film cast list came out.
It did.
Famously, it did not
Malcolm
include.
froze. There's
voices
Malcolm.
from
Yeah.
Dune.
Yes, it did.
I got you covered.
So
Okay, so the cast list came
Malcolm,
out.
no.
Some fans are upset because famous alumni from the games, George Newbern, Susan
Anyway.
Ivan, and Kevin
Anyway.
Conroy. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you're back.
There he is. There he is.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've announced the cast for the Injustice Gods Among Us movie. And we've got a bunch of interesting cast lists. I'm excited for this cast. We've got Justin Hartley, famous for playing Green Arrow in Smallville, playing Superman. Anson Mount is playing Batman. Laura Bailey is playing Lois Lane and Rama Kushner. Gillian Jacobs is playing Harley Quinn. Anika Rose is Catwoman. Janet Varney is Wonder Woman. Kevin Pollak is Joker and Jonathan Kent. Zach Callison is Damian Jimmy Olsen. Brian T. Delaney is Green Lantern. Brandon Michael Hall is Cyborg. Edwin Hodge is playing Mr. Terrific and Killer Croc. Oliver Hudson is Plastic Man. Yuri Lowen Master Flash and Shazam. Derek Phillips is Nightwing and Aquaman. Reed Scott is playing Green Arrow and Victor Zsasz. Farron Tahir is Ra's al Ghul. Fred Tatasciore is Captain Atom, and Andrew Morgado is Mirror Master Soldier. Manning, what are your thoughts about this cast?
Listen, well, first off, Matt had mentioned prior that people were upset that you had the classic ones like George Newbern, Kevin Conroy, and Susan Eisenberg that wouldn't be rephrasing their roles. To me, this symbolizes the fact that they are definitely trying to distance themselves from the actual video game, trying to make it distinct. And I'm curious, I haven't seen anything. I'm not sure what they've released from it. I've never been a big fan, really, of the now anyway, a big fan of the direct-to-DVD DC things. And I'm just probably going to skip
Watch
this.
Dark Knight Returns, parts 1 and 2. It's really good.
I've heard good things about those. For me personally, though, they've never grabbed me. Well, the one I've seen was because it's The Killing Joke. I saw that and didn't like that. Which kind of scarred me from wanting to watch the rest of them. Regardless, I'm excited because the Injustice games are very, very good. If you really like fighting games, of course. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this one and how they translate that first game. So color me intrigued, but not going out there.
It's based on the comics more than the games, I've heard.
Oh, is it?
I mean, they share a similar story, but
yeah,
from what I've heard.
The comic I know is definitely it's the leading up to where the game currently is. So it's how it all transpires.
So, but I played the first game. And I watched the playthrough.
I haven't actually read the comics, but I thought that the comics was actually concurrently around that same timeline. But from what I heard, it still starts off with Superman killing the Joker. So
the comic does start off like that. And I read the first few issues like years ago when they first started. That was like year 1. They're on I'm not sure what year they're on now. I stopped really reading comics around that time. But they started off. I don't know how far they're going though. It's like 5 years from where that happened, and then from where the video game takes place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, I think year 1 is kind of similar to the way the actual game goes, and I think they move on a little bit from there. I don't know. I actually do want to read the comics at some stage.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious to see sort of where they went and how the comics tie into Injustice 2, which came out just more recently. But Matt, what are your thoughts on the cast list for this?
I'm pretty interested. First I want to address, I love George Newbern, I love Susan Eisenberg, and I love Kevin Conroy. But I have been listening to their interpretations of those characters for most of my life. And they were great in the games. I love the games, but I think I get it. They're video games and they're voice actors. Why wouldn't you just take why not let someone else have their crack at Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and all this stuff? That's my first thing. I'm really interested in Justin Hartley as Superman, as a huge Smallville fan. I love that kind of connection. that they have Green Arrow from that show now playing Superman. That's really interesting. Kevin Pollak as Jonathan Kent makes sense. Kevin Pollak is Joker. That I am really, really interested in. And I'm really excited to hear his interpretation. And I wonder if at any point in the film there's a crossover between Jonathan and Joker, which is why they casted Kevin Pollak for both roles. Jillian Jacobs, I love her from from Community, and if you know anything about Britta, she has a couple of screws loose, so that's kind of just the ideal casting, I think, for that's actually been my favorite thing since this cast list came out. It's just been all the Britta clips people have been dropping to show that she'll be a great Harley Quinn. So I'm really excited for this. Like Manning, I've never gotten huge into the DC animated movies because there are so many. I've watched Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. I've seen Dark Knight Returns parts 1 and 2. I've watched both Deaths of Superman and Reign of Superman. And I really want to see Long Halloween Part 1 because I've heard that's really good. But I've never. Oh, and I saw Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's a good one too. But I'm interested in seeing this because I really like the games a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also really interested in Gillian Jacobs as Harley Quinn, and this is one that that I like. I mean, out of the three you mentioned, the only one I know is Kevin Conroy. I have no idea who the other two names are.
George, did you ever watch Justice League or Justice League Unlimited?
No.
Well, you said you played Injustice, or did you not say that?
Yeah, I've played Injustice.
Well, George Newbern is Superman in that game, and Susan Eisenberg is Wonder Woman in that game.
But I mean, it's one of those ones maybe they're busy doing other voice roles. I mean, it's not like they knew to keep themselves free for this. And it's just one of those ones. I think it just is a case of maybe they weren't available for this because. I mean, I know they're busy voice actors, and I know they've probably got a lot of work throughout COVID. So, because I believe Kevin Conroy might have been doing Long Halloween, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Jensen Ackles is playing Batman in Batman Long Halloween.
That's mistaken. Right.
Let me just say, I just want to be sure if I'm not mistaken about that.
But anyway, while you look that up,
Abe... Jensen Ackles is playing him, which is why I really want to see it, because I really want to see his interpretation of Batman, because CW didn't give us that in Crisis. Bastards.
I never thought they would anyway.
She was on the set!
But, Abe, what are your thoughts on this cast list for Injustice Gods Among Us?
I'll be honest with you guys. I've never watched a direct-to-DVD animated movie from DC. I probably will never watch one unless I have kids and they are into it, and I'm not planning to have kids. So I have not thought about it. I mean, for the fans, I guess it's great or bad because they like the voices. But don't they do that all the time? They change the voice of the characters.
Yeah, they do that a lot in the animated movies, from what I understand. So
they do. I think it's more so because they were the voice actors in the games that they're just like, why wouldn't you have them in the movie as well?
Even in the game, I mean, even in the games, like various interpretations of the characters is different voice act casts.
I don't know. And like I said, I love them, but like, let other people try, man. Worst comes to worst. Jensen Ackles, okay, fine. Jensen Ackles is not a good Batman. Fine. Then you don't cast him next time you cast Kevin Conroy, okay? It's fine.
Because, I mean, a good example is when you talk about the, go back to the games, it's like, in the Arkham games, you had Kevin Conroy playing Batman in most of them, but Arkham Origins, I think, was someone completely
Him and Joker, but that's because they were supposed to be younger. Yeah, it was different actors for because it was Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill in the first 3. Because I think it was Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and then Arkham Origins. It was 2 new actors playing them.
But moving on. But sticking with DC though.
Are we
Leslie
ever going to
Gray.
get to the topic?
We will. I mean, most of these are just casting ones. I think we've just took a long time talking about some of these. Everything we got into a big tangent. But anyway,
I'm just looking at the time, but like we've been on for an hour.
Leslie Grace has gone on to In the Heights of DC and has been recently cast as Batgirl. Abe, what are your thoughts on Leslie Grace from In the Heights being cast as Batgirl?
Look, I watched her in The Heights, and I was not impressed with her performance. So I'm like, sure, I guess we'll trust the producer. I'm not happy, talking about the Batgirl movie. Release it in the theater. Don't release it on HBO Max. I want to see it in the theater. I was excited. I'm happy that Bad Boys for Life directors are doing it, which means I think it can be an interesting film. But it's fine. I think she can do something interesting. I mean, she was cast for a reason, so I'll trust the casting director for the film.
Matt, what are your thoughts about Leslie Grace being cast as Batgirl in the upcoming Batgirl movie?
I haven't seen In the Heights, and I know I believe that's her first role, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't have anything to go on for her. I know there were a couple. It was weird because there was like a short list of actresses that were let out, and then just like the next day or the day after they had announced the casting. I know Leah Thompson really wanted her daughter Zoe Deutch to play,
yeah.
which that is where I learned that Zach's girlfriend from Sweet Life on Deck is the daughter of Lorraine Baines McFly. So I did learn that from all of this, which I was like, holy shit, really? So yeah, I mean, I haven't seen In the Heights, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never really loved Batgirl that much beyond Batman, the animated series, and Batman Beyond. So I'm not really too attached to the character. So the movie will be the movie.
Manning, I know you've seen In the Heights. What are your thoughts about Leslie Grace playing Batgirl?
Yeah, same thing with Matt. I know they had a list of people. Was she on that list?
Let me see.
She was on it, right?
Just give me...
No, I don't know if she was on there.
Wait, let me see.
She was?
Okay. Yeah, no. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but when that announcement, like, I'm super excited. I'm interested in how the Bad Boys for Life directors are going to handle this, though, because I know this movie's been in limbo for the longest time because of certain people who are no longer attached to it.
Josh Whedon.
Yeah, yep, that guy. And there you go. Now, yeah. Let's just say it. Let's just say the name out loud.
Fear of the name and still feeling the person. All right.
There is. You're right. I'm excited. I think, yeah, she was great. I'm now hoping Batgirl sings in the movie because her voice is also something that's like fantastic. Batgirl ain't gonna sing. It's not a musical unless suddenly Bad Boys for Life are directing a musical, which I want to see this now. What?
Will Smith was a rapper before he was
if they make Batgirl's villain Music Meister, and if they get Neil Patrick Harris to play him,
there you go. Just like the Batman.
That could be a musical.
Dr. Horrible again.
What a horrible thing to say.
No, the reason I brought that up, Neil Patrick Harris did actually voice Music Meister in a animated movie.
Oh, he did?
He was actually Music Meister.
I'm pretty sure he did voice Music
He was
Meister.
Music Meister in the Batman Brave and the Bold series, yes.
I really did like that show when it was on, but I haven't gone back through it.
But anyway, moving on. Now, this bit of news comes in I'll believe it when I see it. The Rock has come out saying he's done with the Fast and Furious franchise. Abe, do you believe that The Rock is really done with the Fast and Furious franchise?
Nah. Money talks. Universal, like it's the flagship, if you call franchise for Universal. People will say Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, but I don't think that was it. So I think, look, Hobbs and Shaw did like $750 million worldwide. Don't you think Universal would like to do a sequel to that one? Which is
I mean,
but that's Fast and Furious Presents.
Well, this is one of those ones I'm kind of wondering what he assumes is Fast and Furious, because I know he's got a very bit of a beef with Vin Diesel. So
what?
So he may not see the Hobbs and Shaw one because Vin Diesel's not in those. Because I did read the article. I think he actually said that he's not going to do a Fast and Furious project that's got Vin Diesel in it again. So, which means that he'll be safe doing the Hobbs and Shaw sequel, which was definitely set up in Hobbs and Shaw. There is could potentially be a sequel. But Matt, do you believe that The Rock was truly done with the Fast and Furious franchise?
I think The Rock thinks he's done with it, but then I think when Universal backs a couple of dump trucks of money in front of his house, he'll be back on. I mean, let's not forget, we live in a world. Daniel Craig, on record, said, when asked about doing another James Bond movie, said he would rather slash his hooves. And yet, he went and made No Time to Die after that. So, look, actors are always saying they're done with these things, and then, let's be honest, and I don't blame these people, because money is how the world runs round. They get the right amount, the right figure, and they'll gladly come on to set. So I could see him maybe not being a main character anymore, but I think in one of the, because I think, what are they doing, 2 more and then they're done? I could see him doing a cameo in one of them to set up like Hobbs and Shaw too.
If I may add real fast, and I guess the question you're going to ask is, Manning, is he going to come back? Is that, I'm assuming that's what you were going to ask, correct?
Yeah.
First off, I don't think he's planning on coming back right now. But what you were saying, Matt, was maybe he has a cameo. Maybe they'll go up to, as he said, that truckload of money, dump it down and say, hey, your scene, we want you to film a scene. Vin Diesel will not be in your scene. We will digitally add him later, or we won't even write him in or something, because that's something that we'll do. Because unless they squash this beef, because this is the realest beef, and I have no idea why it started. I'm so curious, and I don't think they're ever going to work again together.
Is a big actor. Vin Diesel is the star of a big franchise. Also, Vin Diesel used to have the biggest social media presence. He used to have the most followers on Facebook, and then Dwayne Johnson got on social media and took him down. So I think, they haven't said, I think that's got to be a part of it. I think Vin Diesel used to like being the guy that everyone loved on social media, and now The Rock's the guy everyone loves on social media. So he was like, this guy.
Interesting.
Let's
social network too is just going to be about The Rock.
Also, let's face it, The Rock isn't just about every other movie at this stage. He's for about five movies at a time.
Doesn't he have a wife and kids? Like, when does he see
does.
them?
I don't think he sleeps is the thing.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't even know if he's got time to do another Fast and Furious movie, even if he wanted to. But the last thing I'll say to The Rock, if he truly is done with Fast and Furious.
Alas, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think a lot of people would disagree on him being the weakest link, but
goodbye.
I mean,
also enough with the goddamn clips. You're like Carrot Top.
But anyway, moving on. Jordan Peele's announces a new horror movie that's coming out. It's got Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Steven Yeun. It is just called Nope.
Yes.
Maddie, what are your thoughts about this Nope?
Oh, Get Out is, first off, what a title. Can we just take a second to appreciate the title, just Nope? Like, that's a great title. That's a great title. I love Get Out. I really like Us. Yeah, sign me up again. He loves his, like, short titles, and I'm here for it. I have nothing to say other than this cast is amazing, and it's Jordan Peele. I have no idea what he's going to be doing. Because obviously both of his films had a little... They had a, you know... well, Get Out had more of a, I feel like, a message than Us did. Not saying Us didn't have a message, but I'm curious to see how he's going to play along with that in Nope, or if he's going to play around with horror tropes. Because a lot of people always play around with the trope of when something happens in a horror film. I know in real life people would just be like, nope, not going to do that. So I'm curious if that's going to play out. If it's going to be more along the lines of a tongue-in-cheek, or is it going to be full-on horror? Because that really is a... Is that a giant cloud with a like light strings coming from it? I can't exactly tell. It's a cloud,
Yeah, there is definitely light strings coming down from that.
Yeah, and I'm so curious at what in the world this means, what this could be, because I have utterly no clue, and I'm excited.
Matt, any thoughts about Nope?
Oh, like horror movies I haven't seen. I haven't seen Get Out. I haven't seen Us. I've seen the first episode of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone, and I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't as good as the original, but it wasn't that bad.
Abe, what are your thoughts about
Also,
Nope?
I love Key and Peele, the show, by the way.
Yes.
So I do
What are
love him.
my thoughts about Nope? Jordan Peele.
How
is a
about
good director.
Nope?
No, I mean, does the movie come out next year?
Bless you.
Salud.
I don't think there's a release date, at least not that I know of.
Salud. Ok, so de partir de ahora solamente voy a hablar español porque estoy harto de hablar inglés.
I'm
Bola de
person two for
americano.
English. Herb Welsh, anybody? SNL? Come
You
on.
guys really don't
Bill
understand
Hader?
anything I said, right?
No.
No.
Whoa.
It's scheduled to be
Someone else
released
upstairs.
July 22nd, 2022.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm excited about it because I love Us. I actually like Us more than Get Out. I think
Oh,
Get Out better.
how dare you?
Interesting.
Or you're right. I don't know what the
I love
internet
Lucky
feels on
Nyong'o's
this.
performance in the movie. Also, Keke Palmer, great actress, fantastic actress.
True Jackson
No.
VP. Jump in.
Also, Elizabeth Moss, the way she dies in Us, fantastic way of dying.
Spoilers. Thanks for a movie I'm never gonna watch.
Sorry.
But yeah, like Nope sounds interesting. I kind of wonder if we're going to get a trailer soon now that the posters sort of come out because if it's coming out next year, we're probably going to get a trailer sometime by the end of the year because it's basically 1 year from today that it's going to be
What
out.
if the poster is all we're getting? I mean, remember when they did 10 Cloverfield Lane? They just dropped that movie.
Well, I think they randomly dropped the trailer. I don't quite.
Man,
I think the trailer came out 1 month before, but I think
I
with
would
this one,
love a director to just have the balls to just like have a basic poster that's just the title of the film, the release date, and that's it. No trailer, no commercial, no cast list, no nothing. Just a basic like black poster with white letters that says the name of the movie, the release date, and that's it. You just have to go and see the movie and take a chance on it.
Dude,
well, I mean, I think, talking about Cloverfield, I think they did it. That's a similar sort of thing with the Cloverfield paradox, because I think at Super Bowl they released the trailer and it was like coming straight after the game.
Literally nothing. Like the poster is literally just the title of the movie and the release date. Like there's nothing. And I'm saying someone in Hollywood have the balls to do it, please.
I mean, I think it's one of those ones. I think it would have to be really intriguing for them to take that gamble. Because the people not many people go see a movie if they don't get a taste on what it's going to be like. So
But people are also known that if you tell them to not do something, that they go and do it. So maybe that's the trailer. It's just it's telling you, do not see this movie. You know nothing about it. You don't know who's in it. You don't know who directed it. And now subconsciously make people be like, I think I need to go and see this movie. Someone get me in charge of marketing. Okay, come on.
I mean, didn't Radel Yankovic release a parody song called "Don't Download This Song"?
Yes.
I don't know.
And I think
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. Into a topic that Matt might have some thoughts about, because apparently there's going to be two. Supposedly there's going to be two Black Superman movies. Michael B. Jordan's one is going to be about Val-Zod, but it's because J.J. Abrams is apparently producing one and has speculated that it's going to be a Black Superman movie. But Michael B. Jordan's going has also apparently got one of the works too, and it's going to be about the character Val-Zod, which is
in the comics. He's a Black Superman.
Yeah, in the comics he looks like Barack Obama.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember those. I remember those comics.
So a lot of people thought that maybe J.J. Abrams' movie and Michael B. Jordan's was the same one, but no, it is two different movies completely. And I mean, not much is known about J.J. Abrams' one. A lot of people are going, oh yeah, it's going to be a Black Superman movie. They're going, oh yeah, he's just recoloring Clark Kent, which I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense. But one of these, there's a good chance one of these but I think most likely JJ's will not end up happening. Because
maybe not.
Because it's one of those ones. They're both in production. I don't think they're both going to see the light of day.
We've got two Jungle Book movies.
Exactly what I was thinking, Matt.
To be honest, I'm probably more interested in seeing Michael B. Jordan's, and that's probably the one we're probably going to see, just because we know definitively which Superman it is. It's Val-Zod, it's Barack Obama. If they don't cast Barack Obama in the role, I don't know what to say to them. But Maddie, what are your thoughts about this? Getting this movie about Val-Zod?
I don't know much about him. I know who you're talking about because I remember seeing that cover all over the comic shop right around the time when I was going to get comics. I guess I don't know much about him as a character or what's different from Clark Kent or Kal-El. I am curious though, because when an actor puts all their producing power towards something that they're passionate about, and I know that Michael B. Jordan is a big nerd, so I'm really curious to see him seeing this and being like, I want to make something of this. So I'm curious and excited to see what's going to transpire.
Yeah. Matt, as a resident Superman expert, what are your thoughts about Val-Zod coming into
I am a resident expert on Kal, son of El, or Clark Kent, adopted son of Jonathan and Mark Kent. I'm not well versed in any of the other Supermen. I've never read these comics, so I don't really know. I like Michael Jordan as an actor. I don't know if he's directed anything before, but again, I like him a lot as an actor, and there's so many examples of actors that I like Ben Affleck and like Ron Howard, to name two, that went into directing and did really, really good. J.J. Abrams, I'm not really a fan of J.J. Abrams that much. He's made some movies that I like. Star Trek, I kind of like. Rise of Skywalker, I kind of like, but a lot of his other stuff,
hit or miss.
I'm not a big fan of.
As far as I know, I don't know if either of them are actually directing these respective movies. I think they're producing it. I don't think nothing much is said about it yet.
I don't know. I mean, hey, more Superman. Like I said, I don't know. What did you say his name was?
Val-Zod.
Val-Zod. I don't really know anything. I don't know his connection to the House of L, or to General Zod. Maybe he has a connection to General Zod just with the name. But I mean, if the trailers look good for either one of the movies that get made, then I'll go and check it out. So.
Abe, what are your thoughts about getting at this new Superman movie?
So you guys tell me this is not the J.J. Abrams one. I was surprised. So I guess Warner Brothers just want to have all the Supermans and all the Batmans because they
own nothing else.
I was watching Olympic volleyball when Mexico is playing Russia.
That's funny.
Well, I'm not cheering for Russia right now. I'm cheering.
No, but
never cheer for Russia.
Michael B. Jordan, he's really likable. Like, I don't know the character in the comics, but if he's gonna play Superman, he fits the role of a Superman-like character.
It's got the physicality down if you see the Creed movies.
But yeah, like for me, I like the fact we're getting a different Superman as opposed to just the usual Clark Kent.
When are we getting Henry Cavill a second Man of Steel movie though? Come on, can we do that?
I mean, Henry Cavill is the best Superman.
We're gonna leave it there.
But anyway,
You've scared Matt away.
Sorry about that.
All right, fine. That one fit. I like Henry Cavill a lot, but if we're talking about my favorite Superman, it's Chris Reeves, it's Tom Welling, even though technically he's only Superman in the last episode. So fine, I'll get rid of him. Fine. It's Chris Reeves, then it's Dean Cain, and Tyler Hoechlin, and then it's Henry Cavill, okay?
But yeah, I mean, for me, Brandon Ralph would be up there too. But
oh yeah, Brandon Ralph, but only for
yeah,
Superman Returns, only for
anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones like I like Clark Kent Superman. I think he's fine. I just think it's a nice fresh of air just to get a completely different Superman as opposed to just a different interpretation of the same Superman we've had many movies.
It's the same reason why I really hope that the Flashpoint Batman movie happens so that we can see what's his name, not Richard Dean Anderson, that's MacGyver, what's his name, it's the number 3 from Walking Dead, Negan from Walking Dead.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because it's been kind of rumored that that's why him and the other actors from Walking Dead played Jonathan and Martha Kent were because they're supposed to at some point do a Flashpoint Batman movie to where Martha Kent becomes the Joker and John no, not Kent. I'm sorry, Wayne. I'm sorry, Martha Wayne.
I was about to say.
Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. Martha Wayne becomes the Joker and Thomas becomes Batman. And I would love to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan's interpretation of Batman. That would be so cool.
Now I want to see Martha Kent become Joker in a comic.
I know. I want to see this.
But hey,
all it takes is one bad day.
I mean, if they get Annette O'Toole to be Martha Kent, I'll be happy.
Who?
Martha Kent, Annette O'Toole as Martha Kent.
Yeah, to bring her back, that'd be great.
One thing I actually researched that I kind of would like to see another different interpretation of Superman. Apparently, there's an Asian Superman that exists.
Yeah, there's a lot. They've gone through, and I mean, there's a Russian as well. There's Red Sun, which is technically Kal-El, but if he was raised in Russia, there's a lot.
I'm kind of Supermaned out. Can we just Batman, Superman, take a break and just kind of go through the nice library of characters that DC has?
Well, I mean, we're going to move on from there.
Oh yes.
This is going to be a quick one because I don't know how much we can possibly talk about. But apparently, Neil Blomkamp has come out and said he's still working on a sequel to District 9. District 10 is apparently still happening. He just wants the script to be as good as it can be before any kind of production goes on it. Does anyone have any thoughts about a District 10?
Not at all.
Oh. No.
He wasn't a fan of District 9, I guess.
I really like District 9. Is it a heavy-handed metaphor? Yeah, but, it works and effective. Again, I love it when sci-fi has something to say. Sci-fi works at its best when it has something to say. Classic Star Wars has something to say. Blade Runner has something to say. Sci-fi.
This show had something
Star
to
Trek.
say every week.
Yeah, on the TV side, it has something to say every week. District 9, while heavy-handed, had something to say, and I can't wait to see what Neil Blomkamp does. While he's an inconsistent, I feel like a lot of directors are inconsistent. There's very few directors where you're along the lines of saying yes, you're going to do something great every time. Even Spielberg, who can drop the ball sometimes on occasions. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is and seeing what other heavy-handed metaphor he can come up with, Neil Blomkamp. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that much of a fan of District 9. I thought it was fine. And the last bit of news, we finally got to the end of the news, this is going to be an interesting one because apparently Vincent Nofio is coming back as Kingpin in the Hawkeye series. Because apparently someone said it on Twitter, Vincent Nofio liked the treat, and then unliked the treat later. So I have no idea what to make of this. But Matt, any thoughts on Vincent Nofio potentially coming back as Kingpin?
Anything could happen. I like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin in the Daredevil series. I also heard that Charlie Cox apparently had to cancel a convention appearance because he had to go and do some movie thing, and a lot of people are thinking that it's either Spider-Man or it's Doctor Strange. I mean, look, I like the Marvel stuff. I think they got apart from Iron Fist, which you didn't care about. I just didn't really like the actor. I like all the actors that they had as Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. So I would love to see them be able to get pulled into the MCU. I think it'd be great to have the Defenders in there. It'd be great. And Vincent D'Onofrio is a great actor, so any chance to see him on screen?
I heard about Charlie Cox. So I left that part out just because that's what's not really too confirmed about if it's going to be a MCU related one.
Yeah,
this is just an interesting one that I saw that, especially with him liking and unliking a treat, because I think it's like he liked the treat. There's like Kevin Feige's there, so I was like, you did unlike it.
Kevin Feige didn't do anything.
Don't do it.
That was the mouse. It's like, you want to do it with us? You unlike that tweet?
Any thoughts on Vincent Nofio coming back as Kingpin in Hawkeye?
I'm currently trying to find out where. Where I'm trying to find out right now. I had no idea this was a thing until you told me right here and there. So now I'm trying to be like, because I adore Daredevil. Daredevil, those 3 seasons are by far, for me personally, the best thing that the Marvel Netflix thing, which isn't saying too much, but Daredevil, it repeats very much so, and I adore that series. Charlie Cox was an amazing Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio was a phenomenal Wilson Fisk. I would love for him to make an appearance, come back, even if it was just for. Thank you, Malcolm. Malcolm sent it in our chat. Listen. If he's in it, please. If he's just like in prison for a small cameo and to show that they're connected, sign me up.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones. What, as I said earlier, with one of the other ones, I don't like talking about rumors too much, but if it's one of those rumors that I think is interesting, and there's some things that may have happened that related to those rumors, like in this case him liking and unliking a treat, then I'm going to talk about it and that, because It's just one of those ones that's interesting. And look, this is one of those ones I like the Netflix shows. Whether or not that they're going to be considered MCU canon from now on, I don't know.
Nope.
But I like a lot of those actors, and I actually would like to see most of them come back, because I am one of those people who actually think that what's his face was great as Iron Fist.
I don't remember his name, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the? Wait, say it one more time. I was reading the.
What's his face that was played Iron Fist in the Netflix series?
Oh, Duncan Jones.
Finn Jones?
Sorry,
Duncan
Finn
Jones.
Jones. Wait, no, that's Duncan Jones. Someone else. Oh,
Duncan Jones directed Warcraft.
Yep, I realized that when I said that. Like, that's not right. What's his name? Is it Finn Jones?
Yeah, I think it's Finn
Okay.
Jones.
Yeah, there we go. I just got the wrong Jones.
Anyway, that's the last night of a lot of the news. I know we went slowly for the news this time, but it's like, but that's the twist. We don't have a main topic for today. No, we are going to talk about movie twists as well. And so, I mean, it's one of those ones. Some of those news I knew was probably going to get a bit of a talk about. Some of them were just going to be quick because they're casting.
4, 3, 2, 1.
He did it. I thought that was a clip you had for a second, Malcolm, and I'm like, why do you have that as a clip, Malcolm?
I wanted to make fun of stupid people while I get drunk. My two true passions.
How many do you have?
I mean, I've got a lot of clips. I mean, I bring them on whenever I feel the need to bring them on. Some of them I just completely forgot what the quote is that I took, which was the case of that one. But anyway,
yes.
So, Manning, what are some of your favourite movie twists in movies? Also, be warned, we are going to spoil the shit out of movies.
Obviously, yes, because they're movie twists. One of the ones I want to highlight is the fantastic twist that occurs in, I'm saying right now, Parasite. Parasite, and it's the most recent one, but I want to highlight that because Parasite takes an amazing turn halfway through the film that to me is one of the best tonal shifts in a movie and one of the best twists when you realize that there are actually legit people living underneath the house. Spoiler. Yeah, but no, it's one of my favorite films of all time, and what Bong Joon-ho manages to accomplish by subverting the expectations of what this is going to be an oddball comedy to a satirical drama by adding this extra layer and making and twisting and suddenly kind of like throwing, like, it's like you're enjoying laughing and then someone stabs you in the back with a knife. You're like, what in the world? That's kind of like what it is. It's not in the very end like a M. Night Shyamalan reveal. It's more of a, this changed what the movie's about. And that's a movie twist that I really appreciate. Come back to me. I'm thinking of some other ones right now because I know there are a couple ones, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
Matt, what are some of your favorite movie twists?
Favorite movie twists. Well, I think a granddaddy of them is obviously Empire Strikes Back. I can't imagine what it was like in 1980 to watch that movie. I mean, so many kids couldn't believe it that George Lucas had to add the lines of dialogue from Yoda confirming it in Return of the Jedi because he was like, all the kids like Yoda, so if Yoda says this is true, the kids are going to believe this is true. So that's, I mean, it's overplayed obviously, but it's, you know, a good twist. It's, you know, it still is good if you look at just the sort of, if you look at it from 1980. Trying to think of other ones before I get to the two big ones I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Good twist. I mean, there's oh my god, what is the Harrison Ford movie now? I can't think about it. Give me 1 second to look at it. It's
while you're thinking about that, one that I wanted to highlight that I really, really enjoy is, like, you know, the classic Seven. Seven had a really great twist at the very end. While I'm not as high upon the movie as I know other people are, that really is a really great twist in the classic of what's in the box? What's in the box? That is a classic line now in and of itself. Another one, and then Matt, if you have another one after that.
Yeah.
Another one is Atonement, which I don't think anyone thinks about, but by the very end, when you realize that these people that this woman is writing about, her sister and her sister's lover, you think they're alive this entire time, but at the very end, she's recounting a story she wrote, not actual history that occurred. It's what she wishes could have happened. And I think that's a really great twist at the very end. It's not a big one, but it's one that I really get kind of is poignant in the moment.
The movie I was trying to think of was What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. The twist that Harrison Ford is actually the ghost and the bad guy hunting her. I mean, obviously, because it's the only time I can think of Harrison Ford has really ever played a bad guy in a movie. So that's a great one. Some other good twists. Again, there are the big two I want to talk about. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of any good.
Well, you think, Abe?
Well, I mean, I have my two, so I guess I'll just say them and then we can talk. I mean, my favorite movie twist of all time is the original Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston. I saw that movie on TV when I was a kid. I knew nothing about Planet of the Apes. I didn't know about the twist, which I really hate whoever does like the DVD and Blu-ray boxes. They spoil the ending of that movie because it is incredible. Yeah, if you look at DVD boxes, it's the Statue of Liberty is right on the front, because the whole thing of the movie is Charlton Heston believes that he and his team crash landed on this planet to where apes are the dominant species and humans are the submissive. And then at the end of the movie, him and Nova are riding off and he sees the Statue of Liberty and realizes that he was on his own planet. He was on Earth that entire time, and Heston gives them, he just, you maniacs, you blew it up, damn you to hell. And you just get that one of the greatest ending shots of the movie is him just Nova completely confused and him just with his head in the sand. You just see the destroyed Statue of Liberty. And then the other one is Unbreakable. I didn't know the twist going in when I saw the movie for the first time, and the twist that Sam Jackson the whole time was the guy who was behind the train derailment at the beginning of the movie, that he did all these things in an attempt to find Bruce Willis because he believes that he is the villain in the world and he needs to find his hero. I know a lot of people don't like that ending. I kind of thought, a lot of people, because they don't like the fact that it's like, oh, everything's like predestined. I don't know. I liked it. I liked, because it's a comic book movie at the end of the day, and I that notion, and Sam Jackson. Also, that was Bruce Willis still when he cared, so his reaction to when he pulls back and he realizes that when he realizes that, oh my god, like you killed all these people, like I was on that train, like it was really good. So yeah, Unbreakable and Planet of the Apes are really my two favorites.
And Matt, what is Abe? What is some of your favorite movie twists?
I'm gonna ask you a favor. Do not ever call me that name.
What, Matt?
Yes.
Well, wow.
When I was a kid, I didn't want to be called Matt either. I used to tell people that a Matt is something you walk on. My name is Matthew. It's not like being called Matt.
Okay, movie twist. I'm thinking that the first one that came out in Google, because I'm pretty bad for movie twist. No, The Prestige. Christopher
Nolan. Yeah, Prestige. That's a goodie.
But they are twin brothers, and that one loves a woman and one loves the other woman.
That is
good. And also
good.
that Hugh Jackman was able to create cloning, and that's crazy. Like, it does blow your mind that when that happens at the end of the film and everything makes so much sense. And that's what usually good twists do. Like, they connect the whole story and makes everything make sense. Like,
it makes the second viewing different than the first when you know the twist.
Like like to comment on that, like for the usual suspects, which is probably one of the most famous of all time.
Yeah.
Like I knew what happened before even watching it, and I do think that affects your viewing of the film. Like knowing that Kaiser.
Yeah, I mean, Sixth Sense is the same way. Like I love that. Every time I watch that movie now, you notice all the little things, like the fact that at the very beginning of the movie, when he goes down to like his basement, like wine cellar office, the door's open, but then every time he tries to go in after that, it's always locked, and he has to open it because she had locked it away because he was dead and she didn't want to go in there. I mean, that's also when Shyamalan got famous, and that's where the whole twist came from.
The twist. Oh, go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like with Planet of the Apes, I've always never understood why they said the fact he was on Earth the whole time was a twist, but I'd figured that out early on in the movie because we evolved from apes, and it was like, so maybe I figured that maybe it's going to be revealed it's going to be Earth all along.
Well, Malcolm, we also evolved from apes, and yet the apes are not running this planet, so...
I mean, you had an ape running America for the last.
Hey, you're not allowed to comment on that, sir. You're New Zealand, okay? You had an evil lizard eye running your country, okay? So let's not talk about bad leaders.
The Eye of Sauron.
But anyway, like one of my favorite movie twists is, and we talked about it earlier when we talked about Jordan Peele's Us. Adelaide being revealed to be a doppelganger the whole time, and the real Adelaide was the one that was trying to get back. It was one that I really found interesting. There's definitely a few there. I'm just trying to find ones. I mean, one of the most famous ones would probably be Rosebud from Citizen Kane.
Classic. While you're looking up, Malcolm, I just wanted to say, Abe had a great point, Abe. They work really well, and no, you don't have a great point, Abe? Okay, well, and I'll say Matt.
I always do.
Oh, you always do? Okay. I was about to say, I was going to give the credit to Matt then. Transfer it over. But no, like, those twists really work when you can go back and rewatch something, and you can see, you can see the little things when a director or or screenwriter, whomever is in charge of orchestrating these twists, all the above, of course, you can see the little things that led up to this big reveal. Like as you said, Matt, when you're watching The Sixth Sense, you can go back, which is another fantastic twist, and it's probably the best twist from M. Night Shyamalan. I also really enjoyed The Village. That has a great twist when it comes to that they're in a commune. I like The Village. Okay, I like it. It's not one of his worst ones. I think it's a really good film.
It was the start of the end. He had Sixth Sense, Unbreakable Signs, and then The Village was like.
That was the last.
Boring. That was when people were like.
I think it's really good. But yeah, when you have little hints here and there that add up to something like that, that's when you know that you have something special.
Well, that's like in Unbreakable. There's the whole thing that David, his weakness is water, because like his son thinks he's a superhero and all this, and he tells his son about this time that like he almost drowned in the pool. Like, I'm not a superhero. And then there's also the whole thing with his wife to where they had the accident, and he was supposedly really injured to come play football anymore. Then you find out that he had lied about that. He had faked that injury because he didn't want her to know that he wasn't this thing, and because he loved her and he wanted to stay with her and all this. And yeah, so that's that one too. And then obviously just everything with Sam Jackson in that movie. It just makes all the conversations with Bruce Willis be less him trying to. It makes it more villainous. Like, he's not trying to prop him up because he's like, you're a good dude, you can do good things. He's like, no, you need to do this because you're going to give my life purpose so that I can do bad things and you'll be the one to stop them.
Evil man.
I just really love Unbreakable.
But yeah, does anyone else have any sort of final words to say about twists?
I have like 100 more.
Oh, hit it!
Come on.
This.
We talk
Let's do
about
it.
moving is an hour. Let's talk about this stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay. We haven't mentioned Fight Club.
Oh
That's
yes,
piece of twist.
yes.
My boy David Fee. David Fee. That's how we got on the hood. David Fee.
David Fee.
No.
Yeah.
God, I love the twist of Fight Club, especially the scene when it happens.
Yeah, when you realize that, motherfucker, that guy was the protagonist was crazy.
The narrator, yeah.
Okay, so question for the panel. I'm not the host, but I don't care. Describe how you, Tyler. What's the last name of Brad Pitt's
Tyler
character?
Durden.
Yeah, how will your Tyler Durden be?
What? What do you? Oh,
Like,
you mean
if
what
you're
would
in-
like our? I mean, my Tyler Durden would be in shape. He would be smooth talking with the ladies, and he wouldn't be afraid to speak his mind. 100% would be my Tyler Durden.
I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be
Yeah.
all our Tyler Durdens, in a way, because
That's
they're like
100% mine.
Tyler Durden is the primal, is this very primal, arrogant version of ourselves that isn't always is like this very toxic masculinity ideal of what men should be like, and I feel like that takes Edward Norton's character.
While also being the complete opposite to where Ed Norton,
Exactly.
where the narrator is, it's all about buying IKEA and having all this, and Tyler Durden lives in this shitty house that when it rains you have to turn the power off, and
That's true.
yet he seems so much cooler than, because he has figured. I mean, my favorite speech of his from the whole movie is where he's like, they convinced us that we were all gonna be movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're figuring that out now. It's because that's true. We all grow
Anarchy.
up wanting to be, actors and rock stars. Any kid who ever picked up a guitar wanted to be Van Halen or Jimi Hendrix, and yet how many Van Halens? Any kid in the 90s who picked up a basketball wanted to be Michael Jordan. It's just like, you're not going to be that, no matter that Hollywood tells you when you wish upon a star it's going to happen, you're not. And Tyler Durden makes soap for a living. That is his job. His shitty job is he makes soap, and he's a film projectionist at night, and he cuts porn into the middle of family movies. That is his job.
I haven't been bothered.
That's the twist.
Yeah, I mean, with Fight Club, that's one of those twists that I knew going in, and when I finally watched, and when I finally got around to watching Fight Club, I was just bored by the movie. All in all,
that's one of my all-time favorite movies. And
I would have been bored, but had I known the twist or not. But from what I've read online, apparently, if you go through the movie, apparently, Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden is in the background somewhere. If you pause it every now and then, they've got a full shot of him.
Of moments to where he flashes on screen.
Yeah,
and he's there. He's also when the narrator is watching TV for the hotel. He's with everyone. And then another thing is at the very the very end of the movie, when the narrator and Marla are holding hands, he's like, "You met me at a very strange time in life, and the buildings should fall." Here is, for a split second, there's a picture of a penis at the end of the movie, as if Tyler was cutting
That's
the film
funny.
reel you're watching.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, I have another one. Look, we're gonna continue this if I say so. No, just kidding. I have to leave.
I
But
I wasn't planning on ending the show. I was going to bring in a small game for the last few minutes.
Let's go for that game because I need to go watch Space Jam in an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay. Long to make this quick, because I do have to skedaddle soon.
I mean, it will be quick because it's going to be fun, and Matt wasn't here last time we did this, so why not?
All right.
I don't know what this is. Ow.
Hey!
Oh, sweet. Harry Potter, the Ultimate Movie Quiz. What is the wheel? I've been on here with the wheel before.
Not this.
You were here for the crossover episode. So I'm gonna spin this twice, and there's gonna be two movies that franchises are gonna pop up, and we're gonna pitch a crossover for this. We might have time to get through two. One definitely, but maybe two. I'll aim for two. But the first movie we're gonna get is, the first franchise we're gonna get is Despicable Me, and it's gonna cross over with
I cannot see any.
Family Guy.
I can't see. Oh wow. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I
could
can
not
see
see
that.
it. It was Frozen,
So,
but it's Despicable Me and Family Guy, right?
yep.
So Manning
Oh.
has to pitch a crossover with that.
Well,
Okay.
this one is easy. Kids, all right, kids. I want you to sit down. I want you to hear a story. Sorry, it's my six pack today. Cracking a cold one with the boys. So you have Peter Griffin over here doing his thing, you know. We're here, Lewis.
It sounds just like Matt regular voice.
You shut the hell up. Peter Griffin is from Rhode Island or New England or something.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
Shut the fuck up.
That makes no sense. Anyway, so then basically, this is what's transpiring now. This is a very meta version of Family Guy. It's an episode of Special Where they somehow convince the Minions and Despicable Me to come on over. Gru's their next door neighbor now, all of a sudden. But this all happened when Stewie started to overdose on Cool Whip. He ate too much Cool Whip, and next thing you know, he's having a weird Wizard of Oz dream all of a sudden. And his next door neighbor is now Gru because he fell asleep watching Despicable Me. So now they are next to each other, and he's like over here, like, "Oh, Brian, what is Gru doing here? I don't understand."
You're
So-
really good at those voices.
That's all I can do from the show.
That's really good. Wait,
That's
you
all I
can't do a Brian? I mean,
Brian's very basic. It's like, you know,
I mean,
we
it's
have
definitely
what we can do.
Harlan
Da, 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 da. I don't know how to. Yeah, but anyway, you know, that's the pitch. You're gonna shove it. You're gonna.
I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. That's just too good.
I mean, his Family Guy is very meta, so it helps.
Yeah. The next two.
who is this for?
I mean, it can be for all of this. Boy Meets
Oh,
World
okay.
crossing over with Planet of the Apes.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
I
Matt.
got this. I got
Matt, hit
this.
us.
So, as we all know, in Girl Meets World, which is the spin-off to Boy Meets World, Eric Matthews, he runs for political office and he wins. So let's just say Eric Matthews rises in the political field and becomes president. Now we all know Eric, he's lovable. He's kind of an idiot. So he starts to make a couple bad deals, you know, about science and everything, because he keeps getting told that China's beating us in science. So they start doing more experiments on apes, including James Franco, and we get Caesar. So essentially, the new Planet of the Apes films, it's all because Eric Matthews was president and allowed way too much stuff to happen. And then
Holy cow.
when the humans get put in cages and everything, Eric is in one cage, and the next cage next to him is Mr. Feeney, to which he's like, Feeney! And he's like, Mr. Matthews, I feel like this is all your fault. He's like, Feeney! Feeney! And Corey and Sean are the banger somewhere.
They're
Alan and
escaped.
Amy, I think, were killed off.
I mean,
Unfortunate.
Corey's probably the Charlton Heston role, and he's the one that finds out what happened.
You
Maybe.
maniacs! You blew it up!
You know what? I've got
Eric,
time to
you're a
watch
maniac!
one more
You
here.
blew up the earth!
Yeah, one more for
Really?
Abe.
Eric!
The MCU.
Okay.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma
I thought they
mia,
should have
mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia.
Mamma Mia is on this wheel.
No, Despicable Me.
I'm gonna spin that
Oh,
again.
another one,
Yeah.
another one.
There's
Mamma
already-
mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia,
Oh
mamma
my
mia, mamma mia.
God.
It's not gonna happen.
What?
MCU and The
Ah.
Simpsons.
Wait, that already
Wait,
no,
that's
that
already happened.
We just
That's already
got
happened.
that. We got a
Yeah.
real
Another one,
problem.
another one. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
The
What we got?
MCU and the MCU.
Oh
No.
my God! Come on! Come on! Come on!
MCU and Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros.
So, am I supposed to pitch a movie?
Yes.
Just pitch a
Or a
crossover
show.
movie between
Or-
MCU
yeah.
and Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. So when the multiverse opens, because it's going to happen, hashtag no spoilers, because it's going to happen, Bowser goes to the MCU, and Mario and Daisy, not Luigi, Mario and Daisy are also in the MCU, and they go thrown into Avengers headquarters, where they have to fight Hawkeye and Ant-Man. Why? Because they happen to be there as any other MCU movie. And they're like, why are you talking Japanese? Aren't you supposed to be Italian? And you have to explain this they have to explain this complex idea of what a video game is, where being Italian actually means being Japanese in their universe. While also Speedy Gonzalez comes out of nowhere because Manning has to play somebody.
Alright, and anyway,
Bowser tries to destroy the world, and the Avengers assemble, and Doctor Strange opened the portal, and there comes the dancing queen scene from Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
You just threw in that because of Mamma Mia.
And Amanda's never came on dancing.
And Sam's still the father in every multiverse.
We all know Billy's the father.
But I'll do one more for just for Abe. But this is why I'm not going to bring the wheel on because I already know one half of this. I thought I spun the wheel to see what was going. I'm going to get Abe to cross over with Mamma Mia. So, Abe, you've got to do a crossover between Mamma Mia and Predator.
I'm dancing.
Dude, this is the simplest thing ever.
Well, go on then, if it's simple.
Do it.
So at the end of the second one, we know Sophie's having a baby, right? Yes. Okay, we go after 10 years. I think this is the plot of the newest Predator movie, but fuck it. That baby, that kid is able to communicate with every language. He's a polygamist or something like that. You know, he talks every language.
Wait, he's a what?
I don't know how you call the people polygon. I don't know how you call the people that are able to many languages.
I'm gonna find out.
Speak the one.
Okay, and then a predator falls in the island where they're happy to be celebrating the child's 10th birthday, and right away, when it kills Sam. Because
why does it kill Sam?
Because
the
he's
predator
not the father of
does not kill unarmed people that he does not believe to be a threat.
And the kid talks to him, tries to understand him, and they become a friendship. And then he brings his family over, the predator. It says, "Come with me. There's music in Earth." And Dancing Queen starts playing.
The predators all start dancing.
Dancing
Is Dutch in this one? Does Major Dutch Schaefer show up during dancing?
No, he's dead.
I just love the fact that I gave Abe this and he says, "Oh yeah, that's just so simple." I
have a feeling he just sits around and writes crossovers for everything with Mamma Mia.
I mean, that's what we got to do going forward. Forget just the crossovers in general. It's every end of every episode. Mamma Mia crosses over with blank, and then Abe just tells us what's going to happen.
With that, we are at the end. Mandy, where can people find you online?
You can find me going to bed right now. No, seriously, you can find me here at Take 3 Productions. Gone with the Wind comes back next week, officially, finally. And I'm excited about that. I actually have a schedule, which I did not have before. No, 1 week. August 1st.
Before Suicide Squad? Oh, sorry. I thought after
Green.
Suicide Squad.
No, we'll talk about it afterwards.
You'll see the schedule.
Yes. It's in the schedule.
You haven't accepted my
you Take 3 Productions. I did it a day later, but it has been accepted. Anyway, I went to bed right after I sent those things out. I'm sorry, guys. I was on vacation while I did this. Aren't you proud of me? You can find me on Twitter at Cine_man. Oh, sorry. Wow. That's CINE_MANN. Disappointed in you, Abe. And also here on Take 3.
Matt, we can people find you online.
You guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovies611 on YouTube, and right here as host of Second Look. New episode on Hunt for October is in the works, and new episode of Fan Podcast will be dropping this weekend with me and Abe talking about Abe's favorite thing in the world, Mamma Mia.
I can't wait.
It is bad shit crazy. That's all I can say. And by the way, hashtag Sam is real father.
Abe, we can people find you online or not if they don't want to.
You know.
Oh, also, please don't add me on Facebook. I'm sorry I have to start saying this again. Thank you for supporting me on YouTube, but don't add me on Facebook.
I don't.
I was like before this show. I was sick and tired of everything. When I called you last night from Glasgow, all I do is eat and sleep and sing, wishing every show was the last show. So imagine I was glad to hear you coming. So y'all feel
sing all the lyrics.
And it's gonna be so different when I'm on the stage tonight. Everybody together tonight, the Super Trooper.
Super Trooper.
But anyway, you can find me. But anyway, you can find me on Take 3 Productions hosting Rankum every Saturday.
Vote for Van Damme.
No, I mean it's not going to help. The topic for Saturday is going to be top 12 Disney live action movies.
That was already a list. What a bunch of bull.
Shit.
Hey, it's what people want. It's what the people wanted.
It's just because of Disney, because our fans refuse to vote for anything that isn't Marvel or Disney. That's why.
I mean,
because they're popular.
I mean, you got votes for Van Damme. Other people wanted Van Damme,
Yeah,
but not just
very smart people.
But even if Disney wasn't there, it would have been Matt Damon. So anyway,
I don't think it's fair that people are able to vote for several things in those polls. I just want to say that.
That's
Why not?
true.
It's called ranked voting.
But
Well, not
anyway,
technically, because they're not ranking things. But anyway, yeah. Sorry.
but you can also find me hosting late night next week. Next week's topic is going to be, because why not, Star Wars.
We haven't talked about that enough on this channel.
Never. We'll talk about Captain Panaka.
Oh my god, yes! Talk about Captain Panaka.
Is that a penis?
But you can also find me over on Full Metal, where I host Full Metal Classic on Sundays, and Full Metal Random. Next week's random match is going to be Harry Potter, and that a bunch of great people are competing in that.
Books or movies, or all?
Movies mostly. But until next time.
I didn't choose the Skug Slime. The Skug Slime chose me.